Good morning, everybody. This is Shannon. I'm still in Pennsylvania, and you're on the 1 Minute with God channel. And the Lord wanted me to come and talk about something, and I was struggling on finding something to talk about in a verse, and nothing was coming to the forefront. And so I was sitting and having my coffee this morning, and there was a magazine sitting there, and it was on the cover was a photo of Matthew Perry. Discussing inside was the article about him and his life. And as you all know, Matthew Perry has passed on, and we know him best, most of all, as Chandler Bing off of Friends. And I watched that show, and he was a great, phenomenal actor. For me, I liked him the most off of Friends. And we all know he struggled with alcohol and drugs, and he talks about being drunk on set, and this guy was popping 55 Vicodin a day, which is terrible. Like, I can't believe he lasted as long as he did. 55 Vicodin a day. This guy went to rehab 15 times. He spent $7 million roughly on rehabs, and he talks about on the set, we remember him marrying Monica. That day that he married Monica on set, he was, after the taping was finished, he was driven back to rehab. If you look at the show and you watch Chandler Bing, we just go, oh, he's so funny. And I knew he struggled, but I didn't see that side of him. We didn't see him. He said he was slurring speech, and I never saw it. And the only thing I saw was that he was fluctuating weight between seasons, and he was like the life of the party on this show. He was, for me, I thought he was the best one on the show, just for me. And he was funny, and we didn't refer to him as Matthew, we referred to him as Chandler in our conversations about the show. And so I said, okay, God, what are you trying to show me here? And he brought my drunkenness to the forefront. As you see my countenance now, that's how I am. I'm not this obnoxious, boisterous person. But when I was drunk, I was the life of the party. I had so many friends. At work, we talk about, let's go after work and get drunk, and we're going to have wings. And I was the life of the party. And I was boisterous and obnoxious, and, listening to these songs, secular music, and I was always more into the, AC/DC, the hard stuff. I was into that kind of music. And I was more into that music when I was drunk. In my sober times, I was more into like the country music and just stuff that was just a bit more mellow. And I look at those times when I was drunk, and I'm just having a good time, and I'm not feeling a thing. Underneath all of that, I was in so much pain and so much heartache. And I just wanted to stay drunk. I wanted to stay drunk. There was a time when I was putting vodka in a water bottle at work. I had a job where I worked outside in Florida, and I could get away with it because, well, it's hot and I'm drinking water. But no, I was drinking straight vodka right out of the bottle, and I was drunk. And I was going to church. I was going to church. I would drink and go to church. I would sit off by myself so nobody would smell me. The struggle is real. The struggle is really hard. So where am I going with all of this? If you see the patterns, you're drunk on a show and you're popping Vicodin and you're such a great actor, and we just didn't see the struggle. I was always pretty candid with people I went to church with. Hey, man, I messed up. But I hid my drinking. And some people who are watching this now didn't even know that I would come to church and I would smell, and I would sit by myself, and I would leave right after service. Not always, but I would leave right after service and go and drink more. And so where am I going with all this? Where I'm going with this is that we're not on a stage. You can fool those around you. You can fool yourself, but God knows. We're not on a stage being performers. God knows the pain is real. God knows. He sees. And so Chandler Bing, Matthew Perry, I'm referring to him as Chandler. Matthew Perry said he wanted to be remembered as helping people. He said he didn't want to be the top one thing that people remember about him as being Chandler Bing. He wanted to be remembered as trying to help people. I believe Matthew Perry really was he was clean. He was trying. But his heart gave out. Addiction killed him. He may not have been in that moment practicing alcoholism or drug addiction, but in the end, what sent him to an early grave was his drinking and drugs. And people are talking about, he had a heart attack. And why do you think he had a heart attack? And the thing that I want to be remembered as, because I don't know when my last breath will be, is that I shared my story and I tried to help as many people as I could. But most of all, being remembered as being a person who loved Jesus and who was obedient to Christ. That's how I want to be remembered. She helped a lot of people. She was honest and candid about her struggles. She was obedient to Christ, and she followed the path that he laid before her. That's how I want to be remembered. I don't want to be remembered as she struggled with alcohol, she struggled with drug addiction, she struggled with homosexuality, she struggled with pornography, she struggled with depression. I don't want that to be talked about. I want you to talk about me as a child of God, and that she was a true warrior and she loved Jesus. We're not on a stage. There's no performance here. So that's it. Thank you for allowing me to share. This was not from me. This was from God. Stop performing and get real. Because the people are watching you, yes. But who is ultimately watching? And he knows our every thought and our every moves. And that's God. This is Shannon. I'm in Pennsylvania. and you're on the Woman with God channel. Have a good day.